Hi everyone. In this video I'd like to show you one of the best ways to find photos that you can use in reports, schoolwork, or if you have a blog or a website. One of the best ways to find photos that you can use either copyright free because they're in the public domain or with certain requirements, such as having permission as long as you acknowledge who the photographer or the creator of the work is, then this will save you a lot of time and hassle, and also wondering whether or not you've used an image that you're allowed to. So this will make sure that you have. If you, let's say you're doing a report on monarch butterflies and you'd like to put an image of a monarch butterfly here at the top. Okay, one of the easiest ways to do this you have a couple of options, and there are many sites that offer copyright free or Creative Commons licensed images, but we're just going to go with a couple of the most used. So one of the ways would be to Google monarch butterfly public domain. If you do an image search like this, and I have set under the tools, I have set the usage rights as labeled for non-commercial use, because you wouldn't be selling them or making money off these images, presumably. So this will give you a whole bunch of images that are in the public domain of monarch butterflies. So I've scrolled down and I kind of like this one. So it says that it's from Public Domain Pictures. I'm going to visit the page. And when I go to that page, I will see information about the image, including the creator, and I think I may have that page right here. Yeah. And information about the photo. So this is a butterfly with open wings. This is on publicdomainpictures.net. So I can be pretty sure that this is a public domain photo, and I can download it for free. So if I hit that, then I will download the butterfly on a flower. Then I could insert that picture into my report. Another way to do it is to do a Creative Commons search. And that was one of the things that you learned about in the previous modules. So if you did a Creative Commons search, you'll get all kinds of photos that you can use. They will tell you, according to the license that the person who created the image gives you, what you need to do to be able to use that photo. So if you enter a search, monarch butterflies, okay, so this is search.creativecommons.org. So I'm going to put monarch butterfly. And when I'm going to use Pixabay, okay, that is image. You could also search with Google, but this will, yes, and this will bring up pretty much the same images that it did when we just did the Google search, monarch butterfly public domain. So you have all kinds of, here, Google Images, you have all kinds of options here to search. So Open Clip Art Library, but if I search Pixabay, this is what will come up. All of these images. So these are all free to use in some way. Now the great thing about Pixabay, and one thing that I've noticed, is that most of the images here are free to use public images, and you don't have to acknowledge who created it or provide links or anything like that. So let's scroll down and let's just say that, and Pixabay has all kinds of images, and a lot of them are quite good. So let's say I like this photo of this monarch butterfly, and this will tell me all about it here. It's a CC0 license, which means it's been given to the public domain, free for commercial use, no attribution required. So I could download that one as well and put it in my report. So if I pull up the report, I'm going to insert the picture that I found on Google Public Domain Search. So I would insert a picture, and remember that's the one I downloaded, but I could have downloaded this one just as easily. And if I go to downloads and I search for butterfly, this was the one. So I'm going to insert that photo here and make it a little smaller, and I would use that in my report, knowing that it was free to use and that there were no copyright restrictions on it. And also, just to show you though, let's say I found a monarch butterfly photo that I loved that did have some restrictions on it. It was a Creative Commons license, but it was a license 2.0, which requires attribution. Attribution means you have to acknowledge the creator of the image, and you have to say what license this image is given under. Then you would do something like this. This is just an example of a cake or cupcakes that have CC on top. The title of this photo is Creative Commons 10th Birthday Celebration San Francisco. It's by TVOL, that's the creator, and it's licensed under CC BY 2.0. This would be what you would need to put under the photo if you were using a photo that was Creative Commons license number 2.0. Okay, remember ours said public domain, free to use, no restrictions. That's the easiest kind of pictures to find. But if you have one you have your heart set on that is a Creative Commons license, this is the caption you need to put under it. Then you have to link, okay, so the link to the title here, if you click that, then what comes up is it would link to the actual photo on Flickr, okay? And that gives the credit to who created the image. Then if you look at this hyperlink, TVOL, and you clicked on that, anyone that was looking at your photo clicked on that, they would get the profile page of this photographer. And finally, if you clicked on this hyperlink, this would tell you exactly what the CC2.0 license is. And what it is, I may have to pull that up. Okay. It would tell you what this license is. Describe what kind of license that photo was given under. So someone else who wanted to then use that photo for themselves would be bound by the same rules. So here's the Creative Commons 2.0 generic license. You can share, you can remix it, you can transform it, even commercially, as long as you give appropriate credit, provide a link to the license, and indicate if changes were made. So this links to the license, okay? So hopefully that's clear. If you use one with it that's not in the public domain, then you have to provide a link to the photo. This is nice to link to the artist's profile page. And then you have to link to a description of the license, okay, which we would find under the Creative Commons website. And that's it. Hopefully this will help you to select pictures that you can use in your projects copyright free. And also just wanted to make one point that using copyright free photos and following copyright law is not the same as plagiarism, okay? Just to make that distinction. Plagiarism is taking someone else's work and passing it off as your own. And that is something that is generally looked down upon. Copyright is using someone's work or a text or a photo, an image, a video, and not respecting the rights that that person may have under copyright law, which is they may require a fee for you to use it. They may copyright it under Creative Commons, and if you do certain things like here, you can use it. It may be in the public domain, and you can use it freely. But that is copyright law. Plagiarism is just taking someone's work and calling it your own, which is a big deal and something that you should never do as well. And sometimes they overlap. Sometimes you could take someone's work and call it your own, which you would never do. And it could also be a copyright violation. But just beware, the two concepts are separate, and they are two things you should always be aware of not doing. All right. Thanks, everyone.